Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a, not a fun, well, it might be a fun show depending on how you look at it. Now, misery does love company, and you're going to see that in this video. Yep, we've got some folks that are not happy. This was a rough weekend for a lot of fan bases, and we also need to talk about something. I miss Billy Napier, something awful. This is the first weekend we've not had Billy in 4 years. 4 glorious, amazing years with Billy Napier, and it's over. It's over, and I'm not handling it well. I always had that to go to make me feel better, especially if we'd lost a game, which we hadn't been losing a whole lot the last 4 years. And Billy's gone, and I'm going to have to face it. I'm going to have to accept the fact that I'm not going to get to watch Billy Napier coach the Florida Gators anymore, and it's difficult. It honestly is. But so be it. Let's get into this. I'm going to show you some reactions to these losses. Of course, you saw mine last night. Losing to Oklahoma stunk. It really stunk. We jumped out. We were 7-0, about to go up 14-0, and we have this crazy strip fumble. A defensive lineman for Oklahoma carries our tight end for 60 yards, basically, shaking his hand the whole way down the field, and they get that a 14-point turnaround play, or at least 10 points. And then we kind of never recovered, even though we got the lead again and all that. It killed our momentum. And we outgained them. You know, we didn't have any trouble moving the ball through the air, but we couldn't run the ball at all. It was terrible. We've not run the ball good all year, and that really hurts this offense. Really, Joey had a couple of really bad plays, but he threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, so it's not like it was a disaster or anything. But it wasn't enough. So we had to suffer through that loss. I watched Auburn, which was the world's largest pillow fight. Kentucky versus Auburn. 10-3. 10-3. It's like a baseball game. Let's start with that one. Then we'll get into South Carolina, and then we'll talk about Florida and the Billy Napier situation. Yeah, here's all your SEC games last night. And as you can see, the Georgia-Florida game, that was a tight one. We, of course, lost to Oklahoma. And then Ole Miss beat South Carolina. But this Kentucky over Auburn, 10-3, it doesn't even look right. Look at all these other scores, and then you've got this baseball game. Hugh Freeze has got to go. That is ridiculous. Their defense has played stellar all year long, and they can't win a ball game hardly. I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get a score of any kind. And it's not been missed by Locked On Auburn. And if you've watched this channel, you know I'm a fan of Locked On. They have some really good hosts that they're very honest. That's the thing I like about them. They won't hold back their emotions. They'll tell you the truth. And that's it's very refreshing. Let's see what Zach said on Locked On, and I think he was very honest about it.
That embarrassing, potentially program-altering performance against Kentucky. Auburn loses 10-3. You scored 3 points. Auburn needs to fire Hugh Freeze. It's over. It's done. Any sort of belief, any sort of confidence, any sort of form of hope you had, it's gone. It's gone. I mean, even after beating Arkansas, there were talks of like, okay, maybe Auburn could do what it takes to get undefeated and win out. I had so many people talk to me that's like, I think Auburn can win out. And there was that belief still. After all of the crap we've seen this year, there was still hope. There was still belief that, hey, maybe, just maybe, this guy who gets paid millions of dollars to coach football, who spent a bunch of money, other people's money, to build this really, really good roster, we thought maybe he could do it. And he can't.
Yeah, if you watch my Pick'em series we do once a week, I have Charlie Bob on, and he's a huge Auburn fan, and he watches Zach all the time. And they're both on like, we got to get rid of this guy. It's just there's no way around it. We're going to have to pay him the money and get rid of him and bring somebody. And this is the worst time to fire a coach because you've already got Florida in front of you, LSU, and Penn State. So you're going to probably get the third or fourth pick. You know, I mean, it's going to be hard to get in front of LSU. It's going to be hard to get in front of Florida. So this is just bad timing. I mean, they'd almost be better off to suffer through another. I even hate to say it. They do have Deuce Knight. Maybe he can play well next year or something, or go out and get a real quarterback that can help you. But this is just a bad time to fire a coach because of Florida and LSU. But anyway, they don't know what to do. 10-3, like I said, it was a pillow fight. I mean, Kentucky finally, when Kentucky beats you, they finally get an SEC win this season. That's their quota, by the way. They get one a year. They go 1-7 in the SEC. This is their second year in a row. And Mark Stoops has got to be like, man, what a blessing. That gives him 1 week of not taking crap.
Whoopity-doo.
Well, breaking, Hugh Freeze has been fired. So I'm putting this in this video, but I'm getting ready to go live, and then I'll finish up this video later and put it out. But I am aware that Hugh Freeze has been fired. You're going to hit me in the comment section. Hey, don't you know about Hugh? Yeah, I know. I just found out because it's what I do. Hugh's gone. Now let's talk about South Carolina. Now, I would show you some footage of Jackpot, but he hadn't done a reaction video because you know he's not going to be happy. But Chris Marler, who I think is very good at what he does, he's a big stats guy. He wasn't happy, and this is Locked On Gamecocks, and he pretty much tells it like it is, man. Now, this is both of these guys, this is their overreaction. So, but I mean, this is how we all feel after losing.
The whole point of this, I want to preface this again, is we are reacting as soon as the game ended. It is not meant to be logical, full of reason, or to necessarily have a firm grasp on all the reasons why South Carolina has once again lost in whatever kind of fashion you want to describe this one as. It's so effing frustrating. We cannot cuss on the show. It is not meant to sit here and say, hey, I broke down the film and here's what should have happened, blah, 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 blah. This will be a guttural instant reaction to everything that happened. And I'm so over it. And here's the thing. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to tune in for all 3.5 hours next week against A&M. I'm going to tune in for all 3.5 hours against Coastal Carolina. I'm going to tune in for all 3.5 hours against Clemson because that might be the only game winnable on the schedule. I don't even know what to say anymore because it's the same crap every week. It's the same crap every week. And I tell you what, I don't care if you felt like you were in a better position this week. Like the Bama game, like think about how much progress you felt during the Bama game compared to that. That's not just a worse defense, a significantly worse defense. Mike Shula should be on his hands and knees apologizing to Clayton White for putting him through this crap all season. It's awful. It's awful to watch. It is awful. I said this on Twitter. It's such bad football. It's such bad football. Where do y'all want to begin?
And breaking news, speaking of Mike Shula, he just got fired. While I'm shooting this video, yeah, right here it is. South Carolina fires offensive coordinator Mike Shula. And basically, Lenoris has been struggling all year, and he was going into it thinking there was a legitimate shot that he could win the Heisman. It's just not working out. So Shula is gone, and I guess that shouldn't surprise you. I knew this was a possibility. So I'm sure Chris Marler will be covering the crap out of this. I'm sure he will not be upset either, to say the least. And don't feel bad for Mike Shula for getting fired. He's walking away with $2 or $3 million guaranteed. That's the thing. You want to talk about a golden parachute. You want to talk about being paid for failure. These coaches in college football, I mean, they're all multimillionaires, even the coordinators. And when they fail, they even get richer. And they don't have to work. So don't feel sorry for them. Anyway, now we got to get into a very sad story. And that is this Billy Napier thing. Now, look, I knew last year I was really lucky. Florida won the last 4 games. I got an extra year with Billy. And I really wanted to enjoy it this season. And then he got off to another bad start. And I was like, crap, they're going to fire him early. I'm not going to get the whole season. And, of course, that's what happened. And the worst part of it is when Florida loses, they're not even upset anymore. So I used to be, especially if we lost a game, which we hadn't lost a ton in the last few years, But when we lose one, and Florida did too, I could at least go watch that and make me feel a little bit better. But now they're fine with it. It's not a problem. They're happy because Billy's gone. They don't even care. It doesn't appear. All right, they do care. They don't want to lose. I'm not being ridiculous. But here we've got Allie Peak, who I've featured many times. She's very professional, very nice person, and does a great job with her channel. Anyway, I expected them to be a little bit upset. Normally I'll go to High Top or, Locked On Gators or whatever, but I wanted to see what Allie had to say about this. She's not that all tore up about it at all. I mean, she's so glad Billy's gone and she doesn't have to carry water for this guy anymore, which, she did her best until she finally couldn't take it anymore either. But let's see what she has to say about this loss. And it's going to surprise you. Like I said, she doesn't want to lose to Georgia. Don't get it twisted, but she's not upset, and neither are the Florida Gator fans.
With a 24-20 win. But still, for the first time in a long time, this Florida team looked organized, competitive, like they knew what they were doing. No sideline chaos. There was not a single moment where there were 10 men on the field. It looked like a group that was playing exactly.
See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. The 10 men on the field or having guys with the same number, getting a penalty at a key spot. I'll never get that back. They're going to hire some good coach, and I'm never going to get that back. So, anyway, let's continue.
Like Coach Gonzalez says, for the patch, they were playing with heart, with discipline, and with purpose. And I do feel like that alone deserves to be noticed. But as we always do on a Peek Inside Gators football, we are going to break down right now the good, the bad, and the ugly, because this was a loss to the Bulldogs, and we don't believe in moral victories around here. But I'm going to start with the good, because I do feel like there was a lot here. First and foremost, discipline. Florida committed fewer penalties than we've seen most games this season. And I think that is a reflection of a team that's listening and locked in to what Coach Billy Gonzalez has said. He stepped in as an interim head coach and immediately brought calm and excitement to the sideline, if that's possible.
I can't. It's just too painful. They're fine. They're fine down there in Florida. They're all excited because they're going to get Lane. They'll be at the lunch table today. Did Lane look over here? Did Lane say anything about me? Oh, he's so cute. Look at him over there. Oh. It's awful. They're all giddy about Lane. And Lane's not coming. I'll just go ahead and tell you, he's not going to go there. I don't care how much money you're throwing at him, and I know you're throwing stupid money at the guy. Why would he leave? He's got it made at Ole Miss. He's making great money. He can get all the players that he wants. They're giving him plenty of NIL funds, and he's going to the playoff. All right, he's already got a prom date. So what you're going to have to do is forget about the big man on campus and go out with a nice guy that'll take you to the prom. There's Alex Golish, John Summerall, a lot of great coaches out there that you can pick up. You're going to have to forget about Lane. And it's not going to be easy. They're going to make a fool out of themselves. I'll just go ahead and tell you, they're going to do the whole speakers over the top of their head, playing music in the middle of the night, throwing rocks at the glass, doing all that crap, trying to get him. It's not going to work.
It's not going to happen.
And they're going to bring in some quality dude that they don't like, who's probably going to do a really good job, and they'll eventually get on board and support him. And it'll probably be an Alex Golish. Probably. Or it could be a James Franklin, who's also James Franklin's a great coach. I mean, yeah, he didn't win the big one up at Penn State, but the big one was beating Ohio State. That's who you needed to beat, and they just couldn't do it. And there's a lot of teams that suffer through that in the Big Ten. But he would do a quality job. The guy won 9 games at Vanderbilt multiple times. I mean, I'm telling you, he's a really good coach, and the players love him. All right, I talked with Bull and P over at Blue Chip Breakdown, and P had played for him over at Vanderbilt. And he said, guys, he's a great coach. Said everybody likes the guy. They'll run through a brick wall for him. So it's not like he's a bad coach. That's a guy they could pick up, and he's available. And that's the other thing. You're going to have to find somebody that's available. You're going to go over and make a fool out of yourself and do all this crap. And of course, what you're going to do is give everybody else a big raise. You're going to give Lane a big raise and everybody else you go after. And then you're eventually going to get Alex Golesh, which would be a great hire for you. That's a Josh Heupel disciple. He's got great offense. He's got a great offensive mind. He knows how to run those systems. And he'll be very successful there, but you won't appreciate him until he wins something for you. So anyway, not only did I lose to Oklahoma last night, but I didn't get to watch Billy Napier coach. And that's something I got to live with. It's going to be difficult. But, you know, you've got to enjoy the time that you had with Billy. It was 4 glorious years, and I knew I was lucky to get the 4th year, and I'm just going to have to accept that fact. And it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not my fault. It's not. I did everything I could to save Billy's job. I did everything I could. And it just, look, all things have to come to an end at some point. So anyway, what a tough day. Tough day for me as a Tennessee Vols fan, that's for sure. And then not to be able to enjoy the Billy Napier situation. But look, misery loves company. I've got the Auburn Tiger folks that are just, they don't know what to do. And then South Carolina, they had to fire their offensive coordinator. Is what it is, folks. You got to find the positives where you can. There's not a lot today, but that's okay. Hey, you know, football's a fickle thing. One week you're down, the next week you can be up. So don't give up just yet. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know. Continue to cover all these big college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, boom, and boom. That button right there won't cost you a dime. Help you get my videos. Pretty good deal, especially in this economy. Right over here's the most recent video. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.
You're giving me the it's not you, it's me routine? I invented it's not you, it's me.